Good morning. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center. In person or on Zoom, we welcome you. We are an inclusive community. We welcome and accept all people. So whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual path, you're always welcome at Unity. We're also part of a greater worldwide Unity movement. We are the publishers of the Daily Word magazine, and we've been holding 134 years of prayer vigil through Silent Unity, the prayer ministry of the Unity movement. So prayer is the heart and soul of Unity. And our prayer chaplain today, available to pray with you after service, is Wendy Erickson, as well as our worship assistant. So you're doing double duty today. So her number's available on the chat and after service, or during announcements rather. And so you can give her a call immediately following service and she'll be happy to pray with you. Also, I want to introduce our production team. We have Martha and Tracy with us today. And I mentioned Wendy, and we also have with us Claire Vandekrummert, our regular wonderful musician. All right, and with that, let's speak our vision and mission together. Together on the vision. Centered in prayer, we create for all a world of love, harmony, and abundance. And our mission is celebrating spirit, exploring truths, awakening hearts, inspiring dreams, serving community. And note the values at the bottom. Those are our fundamental core beliefs here at Unity North. And with that, I invite you to stand for our opening song.
Gonna set it free, let things be, let the thrill of life carry me. Now I know I'm in the flow, I'm finally free, oh blessed be. Gonna set it free, let things be, let the thrill of life carry me. Now I know I'm in the flow, I'm finally free, oh blessed be. Life unfolds with grace and ease, endless possibilities. They're everywhere, they've always been, when I choose to let them in. Gonna set it free, let things be, let the thrill of life carry me. Now I know I'm in the flow, I'm finally free, oh blessed be. And I've outgrown those smaller dreams, the way they used to limit me. I make the space, invite love in, magic fills my life again. Gonna set it free, let things be, let the thrill of life carry me. Now I know I'm in the flow, I'm finally free, oh blessed be. Gonna set it free, let things be, let the thrill of life carry me. Now I know I'm in the flow, I'm finally free, oh blessed be. Something bigger calling me to follow where my passion leads. I trust the flow, don't need to know. I dance into the great unknown. Gonna set it free, let things be, let the thrill of life carry me. Now I know I'm in the flow, I'm finally free, oh blessed be. Gonna set it free, let things be, let the thrill of life carry me. Now I know I'm in the flow, I'm finally free, oh blessed be. Now I know I'm in the flow, I'm finally free. Oh blessed be, I'm finally free. Oh blessed be, I'm finally free.
Thank you, Claire. That was just wonderful. We so appreciated her music. Good morning to everyone. I'm Wendy Erickson and your worship assistant today. This is the time in the service when we greet one another. So if you are on Zoom, please turn on your cameras if you're able. Who is joining us for the first time today on Zoom? Can you wave and let us know who you are? I think we got old timers here. I mean that in a loving way. Let's see here. If you are in the sanctuary and new, can you please wave as well? If someone's new here. All right. Okay. We've got old timers here too. So we welcome everyone here today. And one of the reasons we're doing this is we're greeting each other. We're acknowledging our presence here together in our joined opportunity for service in prayer and in love and in changing the world. It's wonderful to have all of you here. Thank you again. At this time, we take a moment for prayer requests. I want everyone to take a breath or two, relax into your chair, and start to further center ourselves. We started that by greeting each other and acknowledging our presence here. So, as you breathe in, bring peace, bring love, and bring joy within. And as you exhale, release stress, release your worry and any fears you have. We let them go with our exhales. Instead of saying our requests aloud, we invite you to speak a name or prayer request silently in the sanctuary or aloud in the privacy of your home. We will hold these requests in silence. And we give thanks in advance for all our answered prayers. We say, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. Claire will now prepare us. Oops. I'm going to read our daily word first. So if you'll remain centered and still, let's have today's daily word for July 7th, 2024. It is beautiful. My open heart discovers beauty all around me. I see beauty in soaring mountains and rolling seas, in majestic forests and kaleidoscope fields of wildflowers. I hear beauty in music, bird songs, and the laughter and conversations of people in fellowship. Searching beyond my senses, I discover a greater depth of beauty. The mundane items and landmarks I may take for granted take on a deeper beauty when my memories fill them with meaning. My dear ones become even more beautiful to me when I pause to remember our fondest experiences and the love that binds us. I move through each day with my mind and heart open. Now, even the most ordinary items, places, and circumstances become more and more precious and beautiful to me. From 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 18. Chapter 3, verse 18. And all of us, with unveiled faces, seeing the glory of the Lord, as though reflected in a mirror, are being transformed into the same image. Today's daily word for Sunday, July 7th, is beautiful. My heart discovers beauty all around me. And Claire will lead us now to prepare for our meditation.
In the silence, there is a sacred place, a secret meeting place. Love is there. In the silence, where every color blends and every rainbow ends, good is there. In the light, now you'll find that you know peace of mind. In the silence, your path is paved in gold, and all your dreams unfold. Love is there, peace is there, truth is there, God is there.
Close your eyes for meditation. Find a comfortable position, uncrossing your arms and legs. Allow your muscles to tighten and then relax. And say to yourself, I'm completely and totally relaxed. As you feel a wave of peace surround and enfold you. Allow me to speak the words for you and take them in as your own. It is not I, but the Christ within who does the work. I am now in the presence of pure being, immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I let the Spirit of God now lift me and harmonize my thoughts and feelings. I rely on divine guidance, knowing that Mother, Father, God is my unfailing guide in everything. I let go of all my concerns, knowing that whatever my need is, there is an answer waiting for my. I quietly listen to the Spirit of God within. Healing, protection, peace, love, harmony, blessing, all depend upon divine guidance. God is my unfailing guide, and I am aligned with my inner wisdom now. God communicates in countless ways, including meaningful coincidences, synchronicity. I know I'm always guided, and I remember to take the time to look and to listen. Loving Spirit, I ask for your guidance now. I know you already know my greatest needs and my deepest longings. I know you are my unfailing guide. So in this sacred time, I ask for anything I need to know to be revealed. I receive new light, clear answers, and greater understanding as I listen in the silence. I give thanks for the light of God that illumines my mind and awakens my heart and my intuition. I am aligned with God's will for absolute good. I see and hear the messages all around me and know that I am not alone. I receive divine guidance and I act on it. Thank you, God, for answered prayer. And so it is. Amen.
So today, the talk is about synchronicity. And Carl Jung described synchronicity as the ever-present reality for those who have eyes to see. This song is called Always Something. Every little bit makes me so sure, with every breath it will endure, in all the places in between. There's always something I can see. Every moment so complete, with each breath and every heartbeat, in all the places in between. and shows. Now I know it goes with me. It's all I see. There's always something, always something. There's always something, always something. In all the places, all the faces, everything we do and see, it comes and goes, hides and shows. Now I know it goes with me. It's all I see. And every little bit makes me so sure. With every breath it will endure. In all the places in between.
Thank you, Claire. So is this not working? Keeps fading in and out. Testing. Is it good? Test 1, 2. Right. How's that? Is that better? All right. Then I can't move around, but it's all right. So the lesson today is called Spirit Winks. One man sought guidance from his doctor. He said, when I press my forehead with my finger, it really hurts. And when I press my cheek, it hurts. And even when I press my stomach, I suffer. You know, what is going on? And the doctor was baffled, and he sent him to a specialist. And about a week later, the man returned to his family doctor, and the family doctor said, "What did the specialist say?" And he said, "He told me I have a broken finger." Well, life challenges us to trust our guidance. In Unity, we teach to seek inner guidance through prayer and meditation. And there is also guidance all around us as well. We are under the influence of a great cosmic guidance system, and we often receive small nudges on our chosen path. Tracking the coincidences in our past can create an astonishing lucid account of our life while providing clarity to the grand possibilities on the road ahead. Synchronicity is a term used by Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung to describe coincidences that are related by meaningfulness rather than cause and effect. He saw meaningful coincidence rather than random chance as a governing dynamic for all of human experience and history. Thus, it underlies our collective as well as our personal destiny. Synchronicity characterizes the journey toward enlightenment. Prince Gautama, Siddhartha Gautama, was born to a family that would shield him from the real world, so his curiosity would later lead him to explore it. So in one visit beyond the palace walls, it just so happened he discovered the realities of human suffering, sickness, old age, and death. And he returned knowing that was his calling, that he was to achieve liberation for all people. And so he went on a long journey to find it himself. And he began with asceticism, which was so extreme it endangered his health. But one day he was given a bowl of rice milk by a young girl, and he realized the wisdom of moderation, the middle path. And then he sat under the Bodhi tree and was ready for his enlightenment, and then it came. It finally happened. Synchronicity appears in a single, sometimes painful occurrence that sets off a chain of events that work out for the best. Joseph, in the Old Testament, was sold into slavery by his brothers, and he was sent to Egypt. And there he had a series of events, but because of his incredible ability to interpret dreams, and because of his integrity, he ultimately was able to interpret Pharaoh's dream and save the country from a future famine. And when this famine reached Canaan, his home where his brothers still lived, their father sent the brothers down into Egypt, and there they discovered their brother Joseph. To their initial dismay, but it turned out he fed them and ended up reconciling with his whole family. So what was initially painful set off an amazing chain of events. Synchronicity is found in an event that seems meaningless when it happens, but later shows itself to be of utmost significance. Abraham Lincoln, out of compassion for a man who had to sell everything he had, paid the man's asking price of $1 for a large barrel. Lincoln took it home, didn't even open it, just put it in his house and forgot about it. And then later on, Lincoln went through this really long period of confusion and indecision about whether to enter the legal profession or whether to become a journalist. And in the midst of this quandary, he sat there one day and he noticed the barrel. And he pulled it over and he kind of lackadaisically opened it. And inside he found law books. And he took that as a sign and entered the profession that led to politics and ultimately the presidency. So the many synchronicities in Lincoln's life and in the lives of most people show so emphatically how seeming coincidences point to destiny. Synchronicity can arise in the form of a dream that answers a waking world question or in a dream that foretells the future. Elias Howe in the 19th century invented the sewing machine. But he had one last part he could not get right. He could not get the needle to sew. And so one night, after pondering long and hard on this problem, he had a dream. And he lived in Massachusetts, but the dream was that he found himself in Africa. And he was a prisoner of natives. He was in a boiling pot of water, and these natives had these sharp spears. They were reaching over a fire, trying to stab him. And as he looked at the spears, he noticed there were points in the holes of the spears. And as he woke up, he realized that's it, points in the hole. And he then put the point in the hole of the sewing needle and completely revolutionized the Industrial Revolution. So it was an amazing dream, a dream that the Native Americans call a dream for the people, because it was a big dream, one that was not only personal but very collective. So, and I said the I meant the industrial movement. Did I say that? I think I said that wrong. Anyway, synchronicity shows itself in sudden or spontaneous decisions that we make, not knowing why, that later prove significant. Fritz Perls was the founder of Gestalt therapy, and he taught in a university in Germany in the 30s. And he and two of his colleagues were asked one day by their department chair if any of them would like a transfer to go teach at the German university in South Africa. The two colleagues began asking questions about all the practical aspects, but Perls immediately said, "Yes, I'll go." All three of them were Jewish, and within a few short years, the two colleagues were in concentration camps, while Perls remained safe in Africa. Later, he came to America, and he made important contributions to the field of psychotherapy. You know, we do not always understand synchronicity, but it seems definitely part of a greater divine order and divine timing. Timing is always an important piece of it. In Nebraska some years ago, every member of a church choir failed to show up for choir practice on the very night the furnace blew up. Their lives were saved by this unusual coincidence. Prior to that night, each member had made it to every single choir meeting on time. But that night, all of them were gone. That is what you call amazing synchronicity. It can appear as a response to a question about the future or about the reality of a spiritual world. One evening, a middle-aged woman named Concetta, whose mother had died recently, was sitting with her father in the house where she had grown up. Her husband would be coming later to pick her up to return to their home. And as her father dozed off, Concetta was reminiscing about her mother, wondering if there were a heaven or any afterlife. And suddenly she found herself saying, "Mom, if there is another world, send me a slice of pizza." And shortly thereafter, Concetta's husband called to tell her he would not be able to pick her up, but that her brother would come instead. She said, "That's fine." Was about to hang up when Tony added, "And by the way, he's bringing you a slice of pizza." There's synchronicity in the way we find our destiny in life through people and events. You know, I was looking back at major events in my life, and the more I look, the more I realize it's true. There's almost synchronicity with every major event. And I was looking back, remembering when I went to high school. I went to East High School in Salt Lake City, and it was in a more affluent, middle to upper class part of town. And all my friends from junior high, we called it junior high there, all my friends, especially my best friend at the time, had gone to West High. West High was, it was a lower income, more diverse school in another part of town. And I was absolutely miserable at East. I was very shy. I did not fit in. I was a loner. And I missed my friends from junior high. And finally, in desperation, I went to see the school counselor. And I told her that I wanted to switch schools. My brother and sister had gone to East. It was kind of a family expectation. But she finally called my parents and talked to them and met with them. And then she met with all three of us. And then she encouraged the transfer. So I transferred to West. And I was absolutely thrilled. I was so happy there. I loved the diversity. I loved the people. I was so happy to be with my friends again. And I was having a great time. I got in the pep club. But Then after a year, I was there from the halfway through my sophomore year to halfway through my junior year. So after 1 year, I transferred back to East. Why? Because of a boy. Now that may sound romantic or completely ridiculous and codependent. It had those elements about it, definitely, but it was actually synchronistic. During the time I was going to West High, all through high school, I still lived at home. So I was still in the East High district, but going to West High. And during that time, my mother got this new Buick Riviera. And so I would ride with her in it sometimes. She was all excited about her new car. I would often go to the store with her. We'd go down to Safeway. And the other reason I would go with her was there was a really cute guy there. And he would always carry our groceries out to the car. And when my mother was looking the other way, he'd flirt with me. So what happened is during the time I was at West, one of my friends had a car. And so we went out one night and we drove around and we ended up at an East High hangout. And while there was this really handsome boy in a black and pink Ford convertible. And he started talking. There was a group of us in the car, but he singled me out. We started talking. And by the time the night was out, I had given him my phone number. And as I arrived back home, all of a sudden it struck me like a lightning bolt. That was the Safeway boy, the same guy I'd been flirting with for weeks. And when he did call, I said, we've seen each other before. Do you know who I am? And he thought about it a minute, and he said, you're the girl in the white Riviera. And so that was that. And so it was maybe another 6 months before I made the transfer. But, we were together after that. He was my high school boyfriend, and so I wanted to be back at East. My parents were fine with it because it was much more convenient in a lot of ways. And so, but what is so interesting about the synchronicity in this story is it really didn't have a lot to do with him at all. It did for a while. I mean, yes, he was my high school boyfriend for a couple of years. But when I really look at it in retrospect, it was more about the girlfriend, the new friend I met when I went back to East High, named Diane Pisa, and she has remained an important friend for my entire life up to the present time. So when I think about it, the synchronicity was definitely more about that. We may not begin to realize at first the amazing surprises that synchronicity has in store for us. There's also synchronicity in the way of physical disability or an emotional wound becomes a threshold to our mission in life or the unfolding of our talents. The wounded healer archetype thrives on this synchronicity. Deaf and blind, Helen Keller's own hardships became precisely what it took for her to find her destiny of service to others. In your life, perhaps maybe you were abused in childhood, and you can now ask yourself, how has this helped me to become bolder within myself and more compassionate to others? One might answer, well, because I was neglected, I learned to be self-sufficient. Or because I was left out, I'm more conscious of including others now. Our wounds are often the openings into the best and most beautiful part of us. We all recall the cruel stepmother in fairy tales. That archetype is often a necessary element in a fairy tale, so the heroine or hero can become a person of character and power. Stories of heroes and heroines often begin with a wound or loss or injustice and end with heroic acts of restoration and a gift-bestowing love. There was an author and ABC television CEO named Squire Rushnell, and he calls synchronicity or meaningful coincidences God winks. I love the idea that Spirit is winking at us all the time. It's a message of loving reassurance saying, I love you, or hang in there, all is well. Not only that, there's always a touch of humor in a wink. Rushnell says if we stop to remember those times in our life when we made an abrupt change, we will always find a coincidence accompanied us at every turning point. Those God winks are the signs that we are guided, directed, and protected in all that we do, especially as we tune in and pay attention. So you probably received a handout when you came in. It has a few questions, and if you didn't, those of you online, it was included in the Sunday morning letter as well. So there are a few questions to help us dislodge our memories and create an inventory of events that placed us at various crossroads in our life. So you can ask them generally or ask them about the various decades of your life, keeping in mind any coincidences. So I'll just read through them. Did something surprising happen to you sometime in your past? Was there a wink? Did some new person come into your life, creating a turning point? Notice any winks about that. And 3, how about any personal relationships? When did you meet and fall in love? Was there a coincidental element leading up to the meeting? Or what about when a relationship ended? Any winks in hindsight? And 5, did you experience the death of someone close to you? Did the loss start you on a whole new path? Any winks to accompany that turning point? And 6, what prompted your career path? Any big breaks? Was there a divine wink? And finally, 7, did you have an awakening or rebirth, spiritual or otherwise, or a firm commitment to abandon an unhealthy habit like drinking or smoking? What were the winks before, during, or after? So spend some time reflecting on these key events or turning points in your life, and you'll most likely find coincidences that became meaningful. And you'll find a real thread of your destiny. Synchronicity is a major tool of soul making, divulging immortal meanings through personal events so we can find our way toward greater wholeness. We can find this way through more attention and awareness, but it takes some practice. So pay attention to your winks from Spirit. You may want to keep a journal of Spirit or God winks, whatever you prefer to call them. When we act on our guidance and our so-called coincidences, they can even save our lives. And here's a great story about that. Sammy was 2 years old and unable to explain what had happened to him. He looked fragile, his breathing was labored. That child had an angelic face, Dr. Lester Coleman said later, the kind of little kid you just wanted to pick up and hug. Sammy's distressed mother said he had been playing with pennies, and she thought he might have swallowed one. Soon Dr. Coleman and an X-ray technician were hunched over a transparency of Sammy's chest. There, in clear view, was a penny lodged in the boy's windpipe. Dr. Coleman promptly called for surgery. If the coin was not removed, the child would choke to death. So Dr. Coleman conferred with his medical team. The anesthesiologist voiced his fear that if the child was anesthetized by insertion of a bronchoscope into his larynx and trachea, the instrument itself would cause swelling. That would result in the walls of the larynx and trachea pressing against each other, further tightening their grip on the penny. What could they do? Dr. Coleman pondered for a moment and then provided the strategy. If the anesthesiologist could bring Sammy's breathing down to the lowest level, still within the parameters of safety, for a mere 15 seconds, he believed he could enter the relaxed organ and retrieve the obstacle. So the operating room crackled with efficiency. On cue from the anesthesiologist, Dr. Coleman nodded to his team. In a fluid rehearsed motion, the nurse handed him a metal tube, which was inserted into the boy's mouth and throat. She slapped forceps into his palm, which were inserted into the metal tube. Just as quickly, the forceps reappeared, gripping the troublesome penny. It all happened within 15 seconds, prompting spontaneous applause in the operating room. The following morning, Dr. Coleman was entering surgery with another patient when a nurse advised him that Sammy and his mother were about to be released from the hospital. Dr. Coleman felt an inexplicable urge to personally say goodbye and hug Sammy before he left. "Tell you what," he whispered conspiratorially to the nurse. "Stall them for me, will you? Tell them you need another set of x-rays before they can go. That way I can get one more hug from that sweet little kid." Never before had he ordered a second set of x-rays, and he felt guilty that his desire for a hug would create an additional cost. A few minutes later, Dr. Coleman briskly exited the operating room en route to bid farewell to his little patient. Passing the x-ray department, he noted the technician staring at an x-ray with a puzzled expression. "Why are you looking at Sammy's old x-ray?" asked Dr. Coleman, noticing the clear image of a penny in the child's larynx and trachea. "I'm not. This is the new x-ray." "What?" said Dr. Coleman, gaping in astonishment. Sammy had swallowed not one, but 2 pennies. The 2 coins were neatly stacked, one exactly behind the other, giving the appearance on the first x-ray of only 1 penny. Once more, Sammy was rushed into the operating room where Dr. Coleman, his anesthesiologist, and the operating team repeated the 15-second extraction procedure of the day before. A short while later, Sammy was resting comfortably. Had he returned home, he most likely would have died in a few days. But a marvelous, mysterious force intervened with a life-altering wink, prompting Dr. Coleman to take one more x-ray just so he could have one more hug. You'll never convince Dr. Lester Coleman that these events were caused merely by chance. "God always was my surgical assistant," he said. Nice kind of doctor to have. Divine timing interceded at the crucial moment to save a life. So let us never underestimate the power of synchronicity. It invites us to become more capable of loving, of accessing wisdom, of becoming a source of healing and peace. The actualization of these potentials is our spiritual destiny. We do not create our destiny, we participate in its unfolding. Synchronicity works as a catalyst toward the working out of that destiny. It can help us in this way because we could say it is a numinous visit of the transcendent into our personal world. So let us feel gratitude for all of our many winks from Spirit and stay aware for more each and every day. Thank you.
Thank you for that. You know, as you were speaking, I was thinking of my neighbor who was an IT person. And he had to be on call every once in a while. And in the middle of the night, he received a call. They were having problems at work, couldn't figure out what was going on with the computer. So he told them exactly what to do. The fix worked. The night went on. He got up the next morning, went to work, and everybody was abuzz. "Oh my gosh, you saved us. That was just wonderful. Thank you so much." And he said, "Well, what are you talking about?" And the what you told us to do last night. He had been asleep when he told them what the fix was. He did not remember the call. And then he said, "You know, I wouldn't have known what to do." So sometimes the answer comes from within, the signal comes from within, sometimes it comes from without. This song is about coming from within. It's called Intuition. Trust yourself, you know best. Face your fears, forget the rest. Listen closely, whispered breath, messages from deep within. All of the noise makes it hard to hear the voice. All of the noise. Intuition, gotta listen to the spirit deep inside. Intuition, trust the wisdom you have. Count each breath until you can. Take them in without thinking. Meditate, clear your mind. Make the space till you can find that all of the noise makes it hard to hear the voice. All of the noise makes it hard to hear the voice. All of the noise. Intuition, gotta listen to the spirit deep inside. Intuition, trust the wisdom you have. Intuition, gotta listen to the spirit deep inside. Intuition. Trust yourself, you know best. Face your fears, forget the rest. Meditate, clear your mind. Make the space till you can find. Listen closely, whispered breath, messages from deep within. Messages from deep within. Messages.
Thank you, Claire. That was a wonderful ending to a wonderful talk. It was a wonderful talk, wasn't it? So wonderful. Both of you. Thank you. Now, this is the time in our service when we bless our offerings. We invite you to go to our website, unitynorthmn.org, and find the donation button on the homepage and give your offering there. For those of you in our building, please leave your offering in the basket by the door when you leave our sanctuary. If you prefer to mail a check, you can do that as well. Our address is located on our website. Now, let us speak our offering blessing. Join me. Divine love flowing through me now blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. Now we have an offering song that Claire will sing.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And now it's time for our community news and our announcements. Well, I'm the prayer chaplain. You already heard about that one. And Nancy is here today, and she is our healing facilitator. So please, if you would like to have a healing, she's in the back of the room here. We do have a little sign-up sheet. Make sure you go there and sign up to enjoy that one-on-one healing that we have. We are adding that to our offering of service to you. And if she's in a session, feel free to wait. It takes about 15 minutes is what we're running. The men's group, facilitated by Nola Bean, it's usually the second and the fourth Saturdays of the month, noon to 1 p.m. There's no meeting on July 13th, so the next one will be the 27th. Noel's going to be out of town. If you have questions, his number is on the announcement here. Feel free to call him. Volunteer opportunities. We're seeking a lover of prayer who is willing to be trained to become one of our prayer chaplains. And then the usher coordinator position is coming open in the next month. If you have interest in learning more about them, please speak with Reverend Kathy. Yes, prayer chaplain, usher coordinator. We're looking for someone who wants to be of service to our community. Healing Hearts Gathering with Reverend Kathy will be Friday, July 12th, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. on Zoom. It's been a really difficult week in our country with debate crisis, devastating Supreme Court decisions. And if you need a safe space to process it along with the healing prayer, join us at this time. This is what we're offering here. And you can see the link right here. Go check that out. Go unitynorthmn.org/healinghearts. So that'll be this coming Friday, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. on Zoom. Okay, then we're doing the party stuff. We still have some tickets available here. Backyard grill out games and campfire. Aiden is hosting this one. She's one of our newest members. She's on our board. We've got grilled brats, hot dogs, hamburgers, beer, wine, yard games, a fire, and s'mores. Great chance to get to know one of our newest members and her family better. So there's still some spots left. I'm going to be there. Kay's going to be there, and there's a bunch of other people too. So but that's all I know. And party number 7 is the backyard barbecue and low country boil. That'll be August 3rd. That'll be at my house. Come hungry. It's a lot of food. You got to eat it all. No one leaves. We don't want leftovers. So, and yeah, but we have, we've got, I believe, 2 more spots left. And yeah, I have a huge patio with seating for 14. Keeping 2 for me. Well, that's why there's only 12 available to buy. So, yeah, just go there and check out at the party tickets at our website. Party Tickets 2024. And we're asking for those that are going to the parties, make sure we get some pictures, because we're putting them up on the narthex. We got a TV in there so that you can see them. So check them out. You can see all the fun stuff that happened. You and Brandy, yep, I was about to mount to that, yep, take the pictures and then send them to Reverend Kathy and Brandy. And then coming this week, developing your intuition. Actually, next week. No, this week, the 10th. Okay, I'm getting my dates all mixed up. Developing your intuition with Reverend Kathy. It'll be on 3 Wednesdays, the 10th, the 17th, and the 24th at 6:30 p.m. Central. It'll be on Zoom. And she is stating that we are clearly all intuitive, knowing without knowing how we know it. That's a good mouthful. We all have the ability to develop our intuition through tools, techniques, and practice, and it can greatly enhance our guidance, our protection, and our deeper understanding. And this talk alone told you about it. So, through those intuitive abilities, we can transform our lives and our world. We can make a difference. So join for the fun and informative class, Secret to Accessing with Intuition, difference between intuitive and psychic, where you are on that continuum of intuition, how to overcome obstacles that cause people to get stuck, tools, techniques, how to discern real intuition. So lots of good stuff. And please just go to unitynorthmn.org to register under Developing Your Intuition. Current newsletter. Our current newsletter was just sent out. Be sure to check out Candy's article and Rebecca Thompson. She's our prayer chaplain from Redondo Beach, California. And you can also read the article on our website on the Getting Acquainted page, which is located in the About Unity section. Thank you very much. All right. And the next thing we have is our affirmation slide. Will you join me in our affirmation? Centered in prayerful intention, we give thanks for an overflowing abundance of spiritual awakening, prosperity, new members and children for Unity North Spiritual Center. And now we'll have the prayer for protection slide.
All right, first, thank you to our producers today, Tracy and Martha. Let's give them a hand. Thank you, Wendy. Thanks, Wendy. Our musician. Beautiful sounds. That intuition one, I've never heard it. Was who wrote that? Great. That was perfect. Thank you. All right, so I invite you to stand for our prayer for protection and our peace stone. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let's sing one more. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace
hi to everybody